It has definitely been a wild CinemaCon, guys, so if you've been following CinemaCon 2026, it recently ended and it showed us an incredible variety of new movies coming out, from Marvel movies, adventure movies, and everything in between. But we're here to talk about animated movies, of course, and there was one that really shined for all of its glory because we have been waiting for this movie for a long time, and that is to say the least. Ever since 2016, because it was the last movie that came out of this franchise, Ice Age Collision Course, we have been waiting for a new release, and we finally have it, and it's confirmed, and we have a new look. So without much talking, let's see everything that we've seen in CinemaCon about Ice Age Boiling Point. So of course, we have the cast talking about the movie. Say hi to the cast of Ice Age Boiling Point. Queen Latifah, Dennis Leary, and Ray Romano speak to the attendees at the Walt Disney Studio presentation at CinemaCon, and the picture was taken by Chris Patello, and we see them there having fun and talking to each other, and it was actually a very fun presentation if you had the opportunity to see it on live. But then of course we have the best part of the presentation, which was the showcase of the poster. We see Ice Age The Boiling Point poster for the first time, and it honestly looks amazing in my opinion. There are some people that were there criticizing it. For example, we have Ricardo here who attended CinemaCon. He says, "Oh, by the way, the Ice Age footage was quite disappointing. The animation looks very odd and a huge downgrade compared to previous films." Now, we have to keep this incredibly in mind. It's really important, okay? People like this have no clue what's going on behind the scenes because the same studio that made Ice Age before, the first movie, the second movie, the third movie, and the fourth movie, has now been dead for years. Blue Sky is completely dead. So the same studio that was making it is not the one that's making this one. So of course, we're going to be seeing some discrepancies and we're not going to expect it to be as good as the original film, but it remains to be seen if this movie is going to be as great as the second at least, or the third one at least, or if it's going to be a complete flop. Because sometimes with these studios changing, it's either a hit or a miss. You don't know if it's going to be better, way better, or it's going to be a complete flop. In my honest opinion, I don't see anything bad about it. It looks pretty good. But again, I wasn't at CinemaCon. I wasn't there like Ricardo was, and Ricardo was saying that, oh, by the way, the Ice Age footage was quite disappointing. So, you know, whether you want to believe him or believe the people that are actually liking it a lot, because we have a lot of that as well. People saying it, first look at the Ice Age Boiling Point poster at CinemaCon was amazing. Then we have people saying, and making memes about it of course, it's official, Ice Age 6 is titled Ice Age Boiling Point, and it's hitting theaters on February the 5th of 2027. The original herd, Manny, Sid, Diego, and Ellie, are all back for a new adventure in the Lost World. Can't wait to see the Scrat again. Of course, you know, you have people like this. We also have Jonathan Slim at CinemaCon, Ray Romano, Dennis Leary, and Queen Latifah have arrived, and he was really excited to see them together. The movie was also presented with other movies as well, like Gato, Hex, and these movies are all going to come out in 2027. And one of these, Gato, was really interesting because the director is Enrico Casarosa, the same director of Luca, Pixar's Luca, which is arguably one of the best and most underrated Pixar movies in history. There is not a single animated movie released by Pixar that has received such low acclaim, despite its incredible performance as a movie like Luca did. And we're excited to see this on the big theaters because Luca was not released on the big theaters, it was released on Disney Plus, which of course it didn't help that much for ratings and stuff like that, but this movie is going to be released on theaters and it's going to help propel the movie. Also, it features a very distinct type of animation that's going to be interesting to watch. But back to Ice Age Boiling Point, here we have some videos that show how incredibly funny the presentation was and the great moments that it had.
Howdy folks, how are ya?
Yeah. How you know?
Trump hasn't landed yet, so relax. I don't know what I'm talking about. Good to be here, good to see all of you here. Or even like, maybe for the first time.
For the first time, well, not for us, because we did something together.
Yes.
But yeah, this is the first time we've all been together for a long time.
Yeah, for years.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was pretty funny right there. Ray Romano was throwing some little shots at Trump because he was saying that Trump's pending arrival in Las Vegas, and this movie being the 6th film in the franchise, the real Ice Age didn't last this long. I mean, it was like a double entendre there and throw shade on Trump because, you know, apparently everything has to involve politics nowadays for some reason. And even if it has to do with jokes, you know, let's just, you know, drive politics away. You know, we're talking about animation. It's Ice Age Boiling Point, a great movie that we're all gonna watch and love. Let's not focus on that kind of negative stuff. stuff for at least once. And here we have some other shots of the poster that was shown at the presentation of Ice Age Boiling Point. Also, we have a confirmation here from Green Spot, who was actually there at CinemaCon, saying that Baby Scrat will appear in Ice Age Boiling Point, which is, you know, it's gonna be incredibly amazing to watch. That is for sure, because Baby Scrat is one of the funniest and cutest things in Ice Age. On top of that, we have confirmation too that there was an opening sequence shown to the people in CinemaCon of Ice Age Boiling Point. We also have confirmation here from Nortropolis that says the opening sequence of Ice Age Boiling Point is gonna feature a Scrat, and an adorable baby Scrat competing with the iconic acorn and a pacifier-sized one, before a lost world beneath them is unveiled. And of course, this world beneath them is gonna be the world where the movie is gonna unfold, and we're gonna see the characters have a great adventure in. It's gonna be interesting. In my opinion, I don't think this movie is gonna be bad at all. Some people are complaining about the animation. We'll have to see that when the first trailer comes out. We cannot judge something based on the animation. In my opinion, I'm the kind of guy that thinks that even if a movie has bad animation in it, if the story is good, it's worthwhile and it's worth, you know, giving it a shot. Not everything is about animation and not everything is about graphics. We have incredible examples of this with games and even movies in the past. We've seen recent examples like Shrek 5, which is absolutely beyond. I don't think Shrek 5 is exactly what's going on here with Ice Age Boiling Point, because most people are complaining that the animation looks a little bit off, and not the absolute butchering of Shrek 5, because that is absolutely ridiculous. It looked silly. We don't see that here. We don't see people complaining that it looks silly, and in the poster, if we see the characters, it doesn't look silly at all. It looks pretty polished. So I think people are being a little bit too meticulous with the animation, and this has to look like this and whatever, which sometimes is a valid reason. We're in 2026 and there is a certain threshold of animation that has to be met. You know, you cannot have like 8-bit graphics on a 2026 movie, of course, that is a fact. But the point that I want to get here is that sometimes we focus too much on the animation fact and part of the movie than the actual content of the movie, which is a mistake. We should judge a movie by the content of it. Also, the animation, it should be noted, of course, and we're in 2026, but not to the extent where the animation has to deliver and determine everything in a movie. Absolutely not. But I definitely think we've reached a point in animation where everything is determined by the animation and graphics of the movie. If the animation is off, most people think that the movie is going to be bad, when in reality it shouldn't be like that. I'm not trying to get too philosophical here, but you know, that's what I think. Also, we have a lot more material about Ice Age Boiling Point. We have the opening sequence, and a lot of people saying that it's actually good and it looks pretty good, which basically counters the opinions of other people that said the animation was off. Otherwise, people wouldn't say that. And if the animation was really off, like in Shrek, this is what I want to get across. If it was really that off, people would be saying it all over the place, and I don't see that happening too much. We only have 1 or 2 comments about that in the movie. The rest are completely positive, and it's a good sign. Here we also have more videos about the presentation, and we see the actors having fun and the whole cast joking about the movie. Queen Latifah, of course, we already know her and her charismatic personality, and she's definitely gonna bring that touch that we really need in Ice Age after not seeing the movie for a long time. And also because the previous movie, the one released in 2016, it was not the best, to say the least, right? So let's hope that Ice Age Boiling Point will be the best out of the whole franchise. So what do you guys think? Are you excited to watch the whole movie? And were you in CinemaCon? If you were, I'd like to hear your comments and your thoughts about the movie, and what you think about the animation.